Hi, it's Ruth at Artful Stampin here with another Sunday ramble, and I'm experimenting with some new technology. I've recently upgraded my phone and I'm able to use the app Periscope. So this video on YouTube is also one that went live on Sunday evening. So if any of you guys out there on YouTube are using Periscope, then please look out for me. I'm just called Artful Stampin or Ruth Trice, and so yeah, it'll make for an interesting broadcast. And then if anyone asks questions here, then I'll hopefully get to answer them as well. So I just wanted to share with you some things that I've been playing with over the last week. Last night I did my first ever Periscope broadcast and had a go playing with this gorgeous stamp, doing some watercolouring with it. And hi people that have just joined. Hello. Do say hi. I'm just talking about what I've been up to. Got my tea here, my Pucker Detox tea, if you're interested. Hi! Okay, so I've been experimenting with some watercolouring, and I've been using the shimmer paper that Stampin' Up do. Now, I'm going to check how much it is. I think it's about £7.50 for 10 sheets. Right, here it is. Okay, so I'm just showing the shimmer paper. Just got to find it. Yeah, I mean, I could have used the watercolour paper, but I haven't got that with me. Yeah, so it's £7.25 for 10 sheets, and it does watercolour really nicely. It doesn't pill too much. If I come up quite close, you can see that, you know, there's no real pilling there. So what I did was I embossed the image with black embossing powder, and then I went over it with a aqua painter brush, and then I watercoloured with my re-inkers and just dropped the colour on. So I'm just going to be cutting out some of these because I want to use this on a card. And for those of you who've never ever done fussy cutting, which I'm sure most of you have done, but if you've never done fussy cutting before, my tip is always keep the scissors at the same angle and move the image around. Now, I've just started there, but what I'm actually going to do is cut off this flower here because it's easier to move around a smaller piece of card. Now, if you're wondering what is up with my scissors, it's because I actually own about 4 or 5 pairs of these snips because I use them for classes. But would you believe they have all gone walkabout apart from this pair, which is actually my broken pair, which I used to try and fix something and it snapped off. I used too much force on it. So anyway, they cut perfectly fine. It's just the ends are a bit busted. So I don't know, if I open this up, you might be able to see what I'm doing a bit more clearly. There we go. So for those of you who've just joined me, this is my Sunday ramble, and I do these videos on YouTube. I try and do them once a week, and I'm really happy today because it's nearly a year since I started doing regular YouTube videos, and today I hit my 1,000 subscriber mark. And I know for some of you major YouTube people, you know, who are in their millions and so on, or your, you know, super duper thousands, 1,000 might not seem like that much, but for me it is, because I'd like to think that the people who subscribe to my videos enjoy them, and so it's not really about the numbers at the end of the day. It's about people enjoying what I do and being inspired and wanting to go back to their craft rooms and have a go and share then what they do with other people. So I just really enjoy sharing what I do. So hi there, whoever's just joined. Okay, so I'm just fussy cutting this out. Now, when you've got an image like this and you've perhaps got like a flower out on a limb there, I wouldn't actually cut that all out right now. I'd just move on to a next part, because that's going to be quite a weakened area and I don't want to catch it and rip it off by accident. So I'm just going to leave that piece there for another time to cut out. Or maybe, you know, it might be even worth leaving it until you're actually ready to use it and stick it down, because if you're not going to be using the image straight away, then it's worth just any parts like that, just leave them and cut them out later. Okay, so for this image I used Blushing Bride and Crumb Cake re-inkers, and I just love how it's turned out so vintage. And in the centre I used So Saffron. Yeah, it looks so vintage and looks like a wild rose. I know the leaves probably should be greener, but I wanted to go for quite muted tones. Okay, so what else have I been doing this week? Yeah, I've been playing a bit more with this stamp because it's so beautiful, and I'm trying to think what news I have for you guys. I've been thinking about my blog scheduling and videos scheduling for the next few months. So I guess it would be good to tell you guys now that I'm planning to, on every 25th of the month, to do something related to Christmas, because it's sometimes useful to actually get ahead and make some Christmas items throughout the year, or just have some Christmas inspiration, because it can get a bit overloading sort of come, I suppose, September, October, November. It can, you know, there's a lot of Christmas stuff out and about, so I thought about spreading it throughout the year. And I was inspired by a lady who I know through blogging. She ran a Christmas blog challenge that every 25th of the month she would put a new challenge out. Actually, initially I think she started off doing every day of the year she made a Christmas card, because she actually sells a lot of handmade cards for charity, and Christmas was her biggest seller. So she used to run a blog that every day she put something Christmassy on. So I'm not sure if she still does that. She may do, because she is an absolute prolific card maker. And it was really lovely actually, because I got to know her through blogging, and then I actually met her in real life a few years ago. It was so lovely to meet her. And she's not a young lady, but she's still going. Anyway, hi, whoever's just joined. I think I was talking to myself a minute ago, so this video is actually going to be hi, call the cat. This video is actually being saved and going to be on YouTube. So I normally do I normally do the Sunday Ramble, where I talk about crafting and what I've been up to in the week. So I thought, hi, Dodsy 106. Yeah, I'm doing crafting. This is I've stamped and I'm cutting out this image. No, I do paper, mainly stamping and paper shaping and making paper flowers and cards and that kind of thing, scrapbooking, all that kind of stuff. So this is an image that I watercoloured last night on Periscope, and I'm just cutting out the image now. Just show you how to do. This is called fussy cutting, where it's basically really fussy cutting. So the trick is to move your scissors. Sorry, don't move your scissors. Move the image and keep your scissors straight ahead of you. It could do, yeah, but I haven't used a Stanley knife for a very long time, and I guess I think I'd be scared of ripping the paper. So once I get into a rhythm of it, it works quite fast. So do you cut out yourself? Do you do a lot of cutting? No, because these images I stamped only yesterday, so I'm just starting to cut them out ready so that I can use them to use on a card. Oh, you play on the Xbox? Yeah, that's what my kids do. I guess my video is a bit of a change then from whatever you watch normally. Thank you for joining me though. Actually, it's really nice. My kids do, as I just said, my kids do play on Xbox. They like playing Minecraft. And I have kids all different ages. Oh, you're playing James Bond? Oh, you're watching James Bond. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I was saying my I've got a daughter who's 6, and then I've got 4 children, ages ranging up to 13, and it's quite nice how they all like playing Minecraft. Yes, I'm nearly 40 and I'm married. Yes. I think that's about as much personal information as I'm going to give out. Yeah, so all my kids like playing Minecraft together now, which is quite nice. It's rare to find a game that, you know, a 6-year-old can play with a 13-year-old. So what games do you like playing? Okay, so here where I've stamped off the page and I've got the flower, I haven't got all the flower, I'm just going to make it look as if it's just like a mini little flower on its own. There we go. I'm going to leave that bit for now because it's just a little bit intricate to be getting into there. So since downloading Periscope, I've been watching loads of videos from CHA in Anaheim at the moment, because it's for those of you guys who don't know what CHA is, it's the trade show, the crafting trade show in America, and they hold it a few times a year, and that's where you get to see kind of all the new products that are going to be coming out. Not Stampin' Up, obviously, because Stampin' Up is a direct sales company, so we have our own releases of products, as you know. So the new catalogue has just come out a few days ago, and we have our own promotions and things like that. So you wouldn't ever get to see Stampin' Up at a trade show like CHA, but it's really nice to see how all the different trends and how I suppose whether it's fashion or decor or like interior design, graphics, web design, crafting. There's always like a similar trend that runs through, through the years, and so I spied already some other products that are very similar to the ones that Stampin' Up carry. So it's really nice to know that Stampin' Up are kind of fairly on trend with their imagery and the graphics that they design. So yeah, it's been quite fun looking at those. Okay, so I need some ideas of what to do with these, really. I was thinking, and I think I will do this now, of putting some not glossy. I'm going to use the fine tip glue pen, which I believe is Crystal Effects, but it's just a really simpler way of getting it on. It's much finer. So I'm just going to lay this down. Now before I do that, I just wanted to show you another experiment that I've been working on. This is the basic black cardstock, and I embossed with black embossing powder, and then I got the white chalk, the white craft ink pad re-inker, and dabbed some on an acrylic block, and then sponged all over this to get this kind of white effect. And then I painted with my aqua painter and some Melon Mambo re-inker this this flower here, and I think I used a lightish green to paint this in. So this is the effect of that. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I haven't decided on the actual application. This is me just playing and me sharing this with you now as a technique to have a go. It's been around for a while. I haven't made this technique up in terms of using the white chalk. Sorry, I keep saying chalk. The white craft ink as a way of creating a more opaque effect on a coloured piece of card. However, I've never seen it been sponged before. So do have a go doing that. You might need to just have a dedicated sponge to doing that. If I just grab the one I was using, yeah, I mean it's still quite. See, it's coming off on my fingers. It's and it's even look, it's still coming off on here, and I did this a few days ago. So I tried initially mixing the reinker, the white craft reinker, with another colour, and the colour just didn't seem to mix together. I think it's something to do with how they've made the chemical makeup of the white craft ink, so that it doesn't mix so well. So it's best to apply the white craft ink first. So after I did that, I wanted a much more saturated white, so I had a go just literally painting the white on to get a really high density amount of the white, and then painted some more of the pink on. So I don't know if you want to compare the two. You can kind of see that that's more dense than that one. So yeah, have a go. And also, if you wanted not to have the white in the background here and wanted a much more crisp edge, then it's advisable just to use your white paintbrush and just colour that in like that. Okay, so that's just me experimenting and wanting to show you that. So I think the last thing I'll do before I say goodbye is just put some of the Crystal Effects or the fine tip glue pen, which I believe is the same formula. I don't know why I'm shaking it. It doesn't need a shake really, because you don't want the bubbles. It's going to clean off my tip, and if you haven't got this fine tip glue pen, it is useful, very useful for sticking small pieces, because we've got this really fine tip here. And the lid is awesome because it has a pin in it, and you just put it back on when you're finished, and it keeps the nozzle from clogging up. So there we go. Okay, so I'm just having a sip of my detox tea. I decided I better drink this because tomorrow I'm going to be starting my a friend of mine is an aloe forever living rep, and I'm going to be starting my C9 detox tomorrow, and tomorrow and Tuesday basically I'm going to be just eating vegetables and fruit and doing this detox with the aloe juice and stuff. So yeah, this is me sort of in preparation for it, even though I've eaten cakes and stuff this afternoon. So I'm just going to have a little squish of rice as well, because look, this is my supper. There we go. This is my last supper, as it were, before I start my detox. Okay, so I don't think I've ever got loads of bubbles in this. It's because I went and squeezed it. I should have squeezed. I'm not sure if I've ever embossed an image that's already... Sorry, not embossed. If I put glaze on an image that's been embossed. I may have done with the Dover piece. This is the first time I'm doing this to an image that's been cut out, actually. So I tend to find it's easier to fill in the... Sorry, to do the edges and then fill in the centre afterwards. So I'm just going to go around the edge and then fill in. And hopefully I'm not going to get too much of the colour bleeding underneath. I have found that sometimes the glue reactivates the colour underneath, but I guess it doesn't matter too much with this because it's a watercolour effect, so I'm not going to be too worried if it does do this. And I guess I'll have to come back to you next week and show you what this looks like and maybe make a card with it on. And I can't decide whether the card should go more detailed or just be really simple so I can show off this gorgeous flower. Answers on a postcard, please. No, just leave me a comment on my YouTube. Yeah, I do have to say a big thank you to everybody that subscribes to me. I really love getting your comments and feedback. Please let me know if there's anything you'd like me to have a go doing. Okay, I'm just popping some bubbles on here because I don't want it to dry with the bubbles. Oh, there we go. Actually, it's a good way to move the glue around with your finger. Hopefully I'm using less glue by doing it this way. I liked when I was doing the watercolouring, it almost looked like the flower was enamelled. So when it was still wet, when the water hadn't dried. So I think part of the reason I wanted to do this was to just get that quality back again. That real kind of lovely enamelled quality. Okay, I'm nearly finished and then I'll bring it up closer to the camera for you to have a look at. Bubbles, 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 bubbles. Okay, I'm done. Just going to scoop that onto there. Just trying to see if there's any areas I've missed. Oh yeah, major bit there. Hi! Thank you. I'm just putting some of this glue on the top to make it look more like... There we go. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Okay, it looks very shiny at the moment because it's just been done, but once it's dried. So if you ever do this with the fine tip glue pen over an image, it's worth just leaving it overnight and not touching it at all because so it kind of really dries quite hard. And what's interesting about this type of lacquer as opposed to other companies' makes is that some lacquers, when you put them on and if you bend your piece of work, it will crackle, it will just crack basically. This stuff doesn't for some reason. I don't know how they formulated it, but it's quite kind of bendy if you've got a bit of give in it. So if you do need flexibility with any lacquering, you know, anything, then it's worth going for this product because it gives you that. Anyway, well, thank you for joining me today, my Artful Stamping Sunday Ramble, and yeah, don't forget, if you do use Periscope, then do please subscribe because I think I'll make this a feature where I do my Sunday Ramble on Periscope and then be putting it on YouTube overnight so that you can see it. Anyway, thank you, and thanks again all my lovely subscribers, and I'll see you in the week for another creative video of inspiration for you. Okay, lots of love and take care.